Welcome back. Today we're stepping right back into the world of Tales of Demons and Gods for part 2 of our journey. Now, imagine a city, Glory City, facing a devastating beast attack that literally wipes out nearly everyone. It's a tragedy of epic proportions. But what if that destiny could be completely rewritten by just one person?
Just think about that for a second. What if you woke up in your past body, but you were holding all the knowledge, the secrets, and the combat experience of your future self? Well, that's exactly the extraordinary situation our protagonist, Jin, finds himself in. After dying in a perilous battle in his previous life, he suddenly snaps awake in his 13-year-old body, sitting right at his old school desk. The devastating beast attack hasn't even happened yet. He's been given the ultimate reset.
Section 1. Waking up in Glory City. The ultimate reset.
So, back inside the protective walls of Glory City, society is brutally strict. It's a world where your worth is entirely determined by your power level and your family's wealth. And Jin? He's currently sitting at the absolute bottom of that food chain. You see, becoming a respected spiritualist requires climbing very rigid ranks: bronze, silver, gold, black gold, and the mythical legend rank. As his haughty teacher, Nora, makes brutally clear, if students don't reach the bronze rank within 2 months, they're out, expelled. For someone like Jin, who's starting with almost nothing, this climb seems mathematically impossible. It's a system literally designed to keep the weak exactly where they are.
Section 2. The Classroom Rebellion, Proving Them Wrong.
In this classroom, the segregation is intense. The wealthy, powerful kids are treated like absolute royalty, while Jin and his friends are basically told to sit in the back and accept their low status. The gap he's facing is massive. On one side, we have Jin. He's from a poor background, has an incredibly weak soul realm, and a pathetic 5 power points. On the other side is his rival, Oscar. Wealthy, arrogant, backed by a powerful family, and boasting incredibly high power points. By all normal metrics, Jin shouldn't even look Oscar in the eye. Oscar has every single advantage money and bloodline can buy. But remember, Jin has the mind of a seasoned warrior who has literally seen the end of the world. He isn't about to just sit quietly in the back of the room.
Instead, Jin stands upright in the middle of the classroom and boldly declares to his teacher, Nora, "I will become a legend-rank spiritualist and marry the most beautiful girl." The entire class absolutely bursts into laughter. To them, it's the ultimate joke. No way that's happening, right? But to Jin, and to anyone really paying attention, it's a massive, ironclad ambition. He has drawn a line in the sand.
Section 3. Healing and Hidden Powers. Future Knowledge Unleashed.
So how does an underdog actually achieve the impossible? Well, he weaponizes his mind. Jin immediately starts using his memories of the future to solve seemingly impossible problems, shifting the power dynamics and gaining some incredibly powerful allies along the way. His first major move involves a classmate named Roshni. Now, in his past life, Roshni pushed herself so hard that she contracted the Arctic disease, a horrific illness that slowly froze her from the inside, ultimately ruining her life. But Jin spots the early symptoms right away, like bruised, aching feet from incorrect cultivation techniques. He approaches her and flawlessly diagnoses this supposedly incurable disease, offering to fix it using specific massages and medicine. It's a completely brilliant play. By curing her, he instantly earns the unwavering loyalty of one of the most talented girls in the entire city. And he doesn't stop there. Jin accelerates his friends' growth by giving them exactly what they need, basically handing out tools only a time traveler would actually know about. Olivia can't read the ancient divine book? He casually hands her a perfect translation dictionary. His buddy Ronnie is struggling with a really low rank? Jin gives him a highly customized cultivation technique that perfectly fits his body. And his friend Harry, who has an unknown primal soul, Jin unlocks a specific ultra-rare technique just for him. He's systematically building an elite team, making sure his closest allies will survive the trials ahead and turning total underdogs into absolute powerhouses. But what about Jin himself? His starting soul realm is historically weak, so he makes a fascinating choice. He chooses the telepathic technique. This is a rare, painfully slow cultivation method. However, it allows him to harness a tiny fraction of the soul power from everyone around him. He knows for a fact that raw speed isn't everything. For someone planning to fight apocalyptic beasts, building a vast, interconnected, and totally unbreakable foundation is the true key to surpassing his limits in the long run. And we quickly see that raw power isn't everything in combat either.
When the wealthy bully Oscar finally attacks Jin, flaunting his superior soul power, Jin doesn't meet force with force. Actually, scratch that. He doesn't even use physical force at all. Instead, he uses a high-level future technique to cast a terrifying illusion spell. To Oscar, Jin suddenly looks like a horrifying, monstrous beast. Oscar is completely humbled and humiliated, collapsing in absolute terror without Jin ever having to throw a real physical punch. Brains over brawn, flawlessly executed.
Section 4. Gathering the Purple Grass, the Master Tactician.
Okay, so now that Jin has secured his allies and defended himself, he needs massive resources. To survive the coming threats, high-level cultivation requires incredibly expensive potions. So he pulls off a financial maneuver that is just brilliant, born purely out of his future knowledge of market demands. First, he asks his new ally Roshni to use her resources to quietly buy up all the cheap, ignored purple grass in the city. Next, a local doctor, following a tip from an anonymous letter secretly sent by Jin, invents a highly effective beauty potion. The secret ingredient? You guessed it, purple grass. Suddenly, the demand for this common weed skyrockets across the city's wealthy elite. They're clamoring for it, willing to pay absolutely anything. But when the buyers go to the market, they find out Jin is the only supplier left. He holds a total monopoly and dictates the entire price.
And the result of this massive monopoly? A staggering 3 million demon points. Just let that number sink in for a second. He went from a mocked, penniless student with just 5 power points to an absolute financial powerhouse practically overnight. He completely flipped his status without ever breaking a sweat.
Section 5. Rising above the rivals, reaping the rewards. The biggest takeaway here is that knowledge is power, for sure, but applied knowledge is wealth. And Jin doesn't just hoard this new cash, he aggressively reinvests it to solidify his group's advantage. He knows the beast threat is still looming in the future, so survival is literally the only goal. He immediately purchases premium cultivation potions to speed up his team's training. He buys advanced magical scrolls for defense, and he even secures a highly coveted, incredibly expensive magical storage ring to carry his new arsenal. He's arming up for a war that only he knows is coming, turning his financial victory into a tactical fortress.
And these investments pay massive dividends. Thanks to Jin's new wealth, custom techniques, and those premium potions, his friends Harry and Ronnie actually break through to the bronze level. They've firmly secured their place in the school, completely avoiding expulsion. Interestingly enough, Jin is still cultivating at a lower tier because his telepathic technique is so painstakingly slow, but his overarching strategy has successfully elevated his entire squad.
But, as you might expect, wild success breeds dangerous enemies. Oscar runs back and reports his humiliating defeat to his wealthy family's commander. The commander quickly realizes they can't just quietly assassinate Jin anymore. He's got way too many powerful friends like Roshni and Olivia now. So the family pivots. They plot to use their massive influence to completely bankrupt and financially ruin Jin's new empire instead. And to make matters worse, a mysterious older student named Senior Fan has taken a dark, dangerous interest in Jin, secretly watching his every move from the shadows. He's outsmarted his teachers, cured the incurable, and manipulated the economy to put 3 million points right in his pocket. But now, the real heavyweights are coming for him. With an entire noble family plotting his downfall, how will Jin defend his newly built empire? That is a battle we'll uncover next time. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.